Welcome back, Fantasy Fiction Fanatics. It's great to see you again, and I hope you're doing well. Today is going to be a new book review, and I'm really excited about this book for today because it is The Endless Song by Joshua Phillip Johnson, which, if you guys have seen my other book reviews, you might remember The Forever Sea, which is the first book in this series. And I absolutely loved the first book. It was my favorite book of 2021. And this is the second one, and I've been so excited to read it. So now I'm very excited to share it with you. So, what is this book about? First, before I go ahead and get into that, make sure to keep in mind that this book is a book 2, which might lead to some spoilers of book 1 if you have not read it. So I will leave book 1 book review down below if you're interested in that. But just be aware, if you're going to continue watching this review, it might have some spoilers for book 1. Also, if you end up liking this review, it'd be really great if you gave me a thumbs up as a like, or if you subscribed if you're not already, and then you can get plenty of more book reviews as I read more books for you guys to let you know how good or not so good they might be. Okay, now let's get into the summary. So we leave book 1 off where Kindred and Ragged Sarah are going down under the sea to try and find Kindred's grandmother. And we basically start off in the same place. Kindred is making her way down to the end or the bottom of the sea. And we also are introduced to a new character named Fletch, and he and his family, the Borders Barony, they are trying to handle things above on the mainland and trying to figure out what's going on with Kindred and the sea since she lit it on fire and the pirates are coming, as well as figuring out what is the barony's secret, because the barony barons have a secret that resides below their house. So we have a focus from there, and we have the focus of Kindred making it to the bottom of the Forever Sea and trying to find her grandmother. So these two plot lines are basically what this book is about. And eventually you'll have to see if they do or don't connect, or what exactly happens with these two sets of plot lines. So what did I like about this book? Basically everything, because I really, really, really enjoyed this one just as much as book 1. But specifically, I love the writing style. The writing style is superb. The first book has an amazing writing style, and Johnson does not disappoint in any way. He has that same great, crisp, and yet sophisticated and mature writing style. I really, really enjoyed it. It really sucks you in, really invites you in, along with the actual story itself. So excellent, excellent writing style, and continues to be so from book 1 to book 2. The second thing is I still really love how unique the world is and the fantasy elements that are in this world. The characters with the hearth keeping and the magic with the bones that keep the ships afloat. That magic is still unique, and we learn more about different ways that is used. The fantasy elements of other things that we learn about as far as Fletch and his family, that has some interesting fantasy elements that come up that are just unique and unusual, and I haven't really seen them in other books, and so I really enjoy them a lot. Plus, this world with having a sea of grass is so unique in itself, and how that culture has changed these people based on having to have a sea that isn't made up of water and how they can use that sea to gather things for their lives. So it's a new kind of sea, and I think that is really fun and unique, especially as we are now diving below the surface and seeing what new things are in store for Kindred and her party. I really like all the characters. Of course, I liked all the characters from the first one, and the ones that we have in the second book continue to be excellent, as well as I do like the new characters with Fletch and his family and the people that we meet in his portion of the story. The characters are all super exciting, super good. I really connect to them, and I really enjoy reading about them. And last but not least, that I think is really, really excellent about this book is it has a lot of subverted expectations. The first book sets us up to believe one thing is going to happen, or that this is what the story is about. We really have a focus on Kindred, her finding her grandmother, her diving below the sea, or trying to dive below the sea. This book was very, very interesting for me because it completely goes a different direction than I expected based on the setup of the first book. And we have many new characters that then change the direction of where the story is going, and by the end I was completely surprised by where we ended up. So I really, really like that it's not just a generic story. It subverts your expectations, it takes it in a new direction, and it all makes sense. Even the first book, even if it didn't go the direction it seemed to be going, it still all makes sense in the end, and it is a very interesting story with some unique elements in it that I was not expecting. So if you like books that surprise you, I think this book will definitely surprise you. There's only one main thing that I didn't really like as much about this book, and that is that we don't get as much of Kindred in this book. She was the main character of the first book, and though she is in this book and we do see her and her journey, it has much more of a focus on Fletch and his family. And though I like those characters a lot, truly I do, I really enjoy Kindred as a character, and I wanted to see her develop more and to see her story in its true essence now that she's below the sea. And it didn't go with that much focus on that part. It's much more the focus of above the sea. And I would have really liked it if the focus had been more on Kindred. Maybe not like completely, like I still like the part with Fletch. I just would have liked a little bit more of Kindred in this book. So overall, do I recommend it? Yes, I highly recommend this book, especially if you like the first one. You will love the second one. I will say, don't start with book 2. You won't really understand anything that's going on or this world and anything like that. It is a book that you have to read book 1 for in order to read book 2. So try book 1 if you haven't tried any of this at all. And if you like it, then definitely read book 2. If you've already read book 1 and you enjoyed it, highly recommend book 2. I don't think it will disappoint you. I think you will really enjoy the second edition. And I think that is it for all I have to say for this particular book. I can't praise it high enough. If you have read it, I would really love to hear your thoughts and opinions, or if you've read book 1 and are excited to read this book, please let me know. I'd love to have a discussion with you on this book and this series. And I guess I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!